Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the studio. I have not been in here for a little while because I was actually sick for almost a week. So I'm glad that I'm finally well enough again to be back in the studio and to be working on my small business again. So we actually have quite the busy weekend before us. It's currently Thursday evening and I was actually off work today because it's another holiday over here. June has really been treating us super well with that. I have been having a 3-day work week for the past couple of weeks, which has been pretty nice, I have to say. But this is the final holiday for like a very long time. So I was really enjoying the summer weather today, but I have also been pretty productive today because I have not been like working super much in the past week because I was sick. So I have been trying to catch up with some of the work I wanted to get done this week because I realized that June is like over in a little over a week, and that means I only really have 2 more months to prep for the fall and winter season because basically all of September I will be on holidays. So I only really have July and August to prep. And looking at my market prep planner, I realized that I have not gotten quite a lot done. So I decided to get that out today and start working on this market prep a little more strategically again because I have been taking things so slow. So my big goal over the course of the weekend is to really work on the first page of this market prep planner and get this one looking a little more filled out. So the first page of my market prep planner is basically all of my mini plushies. So I have them all organized by category on here. So we have baby octos, we have mini chicks, we have baby whales and all of that. And then I have them also organized by the colors I want to make. So all of the ones that are currently colored in are the ones I have taken back from my past markets. So this is my current inventory. And I really want to get some more of that filled out today because, yeah, I realized I don't have a lot of time left to prep enough for like 24 more market days in this year, which kind of sounds scary, but also super exciting at the same time. And then the other big thing that will be happening this weekend, aside from lots of crochet market prep finally again, is I will have a market on Sunday, which kind of rolled up really fast. So I thought I had a lot more time for that. That will actually be my first ever market where I can only bring my candles. So it's a tiny little market. It's only 5 hours. It's only like a one table setup for each vendor. So each vendor is only allowed to bring one table to the venue. It's like a very cute cafe in the city, and I found out about this market just recently and I asked them if they were still accepting vendors because it was like 4 weeks before the market, and they immediately replied with an email saying they still have open spots, but they already have 2 plushie vendors, so they would really appreciate it if I would only take my candles. So of course I really like that when a market does that, when they have like already saturated a type of vendors and they feel like they already have enough for the size of market that they're holding, that they are asking me to like only bring part of my inventory so that every one of us can have a more positive experience. So that will actually be the first market where I only bring my candles, and we will see about that. It is supposed to be 32 degrees Celsius on Sunday, which is kind of hot where I live, so we don't get that a lot, and I'm kind of nervous how I will store, transport, and display my candle inventory without all of that being ruined. So we will see all about that. I think because it's just a small market, I might include that into this video, and also because it's already Thursday evening, so I don't really know how long this video would be otherwise. So that is another experience that we will have over the course of the weekend. I'm super excited for the market though. It's only 15 euros, and as I said, I only need to bring like a table and my inventory, so it should be very low key except for the heat. So that is a great opportunity for me to just get a little more income in before like the summer break. So I'm looking forward to that, but that will not be until Sunday. I'm also like not really prepping anything for it because I think I still have very much enough candles for the small market. I don't know how many vendors there will be. We will see all about that. All I know is that there will be 2 plushie vendors, so we will see. I hope that I can talk to them because I have not really met a lot of plushie people around me. So the fact that there's 2 of them at this market is very interesting to me because I've not really run into a lot of vendors that sell the same type of items as I do at markets before, but we will see all about that. But now, what I wanted to do over here while I'm in the studio for tonight, I wanted to show you everything that I was prepping today because, as I said, I had a day off work, so I've been crocheting quite a lot. I already have my bag quite filled already with works in progresses, and I have been going kind of crazy with works in progresses yet again. So I definitely have my work cut out for me. I have lots of things to finish in here. So I wanted to focus on mini plushies for right now. So the type of plushie that I picked out for myself to work on were my mini chicks with hats. So those are just like one of my mini items. They're like this size completed. I sell them for €6. They're very easy to grab for little kids and they have been very popular all year round. So I'm still prepping them for fall. Even though I originally thought it would be more of an Easter item, people really like it all year round. So I definitely want to make some for the fall season. And I was looking at my market prep planner and I actually made quite a lot of the colorful hats for the mini chicks with hats. I actually made almost all of them for all of the 50 mini chicks with hats that I have on this planner. So here you have all of the little hats minus one. So this is what they look like, just like mini hats, and the chick will go right into this hat. So I've now prepped all of the hats, and what I need to do now is make the actual chicks for the mini chicks with hats. So I will need to reattach the yellow yarn and make the actual chicks to finish those plushies up. So that is the first big goal that I want to accomplish over the course of the weekend, to get all of these finished and hopefully have 50 mini chicks in my inventory pretty soon. I ran out of one of the yarn colors though. I'm not going to find the one that I'm talking about right now. Actually, it's this one. So this color I ended up running out of back at home, the baby pink. So I wanted to come over here and grab another skein of that baby pink so I can make this one and another hat for this color because these are the only 2 that I'm missing for all of the 50 mini chicks. And then I also wanted to grab another yellow skein because I'm not entirely sure I will have enough back at home to finish all of them. And then I actually will be going back home and crocheting outside on my balcony a little more because it's honestly super hot in this studio. It gets super hot in here. I have a huge window, which is awesome for lighting, but it's also such a curse because it gets so hot in here. And like also the building that my studio is in is super old and like very badly insulated, so it is just like unbearable to work in here for a longer amount of time. So I guess I will grab the 2 skeins and then I will check in tomorrow and show you how many of the mini chicks I actually finished tonight. Hi friends, it's now Saturday. I'm back at the studio and I wanted to check in with you guys and show you what I've been working on since I last spoke to you. It's very hot in here, so I'm trying to be kind of quick with that. And then I want to also go through all of my market supplies and see what I need to bring for the little market tomorrow. As I said before, it's a very easy setup. Every vendor is supposed to bring 1 table. They didn't really specify how big that table should be, so I will be taking my 6-foot table, so the bigger one, just because I think it's like not exceptionally large where they wouldn't expect a vendor to bring a table in that size, and it gives me just a little more room to display my items. So that is the plan, and we will go through everything and see what I need to take for tomorrow's market. But before that, I wanted to show you all of the finished little chicks that I have been able to get done. So I have around half of them finished. Let me see how many that is. Okay, so I just counted and I have 18 of the mini chicks with hats already finished in all of the colors that I make them in. So that's pretty good. I also counted how many more I want to make or how many more hats I have prepped. And I have prepped 20 more hats and I'm still missing 2 of the baby pink hats. So I still need to make those. So 22 are still in the making and 18 are finished. So we're almost to the halfway point and I will definitely get a couple more done today. So I'm still on a good way to finish up all of them over the course of the weekend. I still have a couple in stock, so that should be like 10. I'm looking at my market prep planner and yes, I have 10 still in stock. So once we finish the other 22, we will have all 50 of the mini chicks completed. And let me just go quickly through all of the colors I make them in. These are the colors that have been super popular in the past. So I have cycled through a couple more colors in the past, but these were just the colors that people tended to pick up the most. So I concentrated on those more for the next season so I can have everything that people really liked and not like a lot of niche products that sometimes will get picked up but then just stay in my inventory for longer. I just want to make what people actually tend to pick up the most. So if that makes sense. So let me go through the colors. So we have bright red first. Then we have, well, I actually think I don't have one in that color made up yet. We have the baby pink. Then we have hot pink. We have lilac. We also have light blue. We have a darker blue, just like a medium blue. Then we have the very bright blue, like this. We then have a green, that's like very yellowish green. That one is super popular always. We then also have a couple of different turquoises because those were all popular. So I decided to make a couple in each of the shades. So this is obviously the lightest one. We have like a medium turquoise, and then we also have a darker turquoise. And all of those shades got picked up a lot, so I wanted to make all of them again. So these are basically all of the shades that I will be making my mini chicks with hats in. So if you also make this pattern, let me know in the comments down below if those are the colors that are popular for you as well, or if there's something that I'm missing that is popular for you, because I'm very open to have a couple more colors of those in stock in the future again. And I will actually not be putting them into the market prep planner right now because I just want to have all of them finished first, and then I will put them all into the prep planner at once and have the satisfaction of having a whole row completely filled out again. So that is something I'm definitely looking forward to. So that feels like I'm actually getting some market prep done again. But now we will move over there in the back towards my market supplies shelves and we will pick out everything that we need for tomorrow. I will kind of gather it over here like on the table because I definitely don't need all of the things. First of all, I don't need my canopy. I don't need any of the plushie items that I usually bring, so none of the plushies themselves or the display items for them. That should definitely be like a very easy setup process for me tomorrow, but let's see what I need. Okay, so we're back at my shelves where I store everything for my markets. And of course, the first thing that I will be needing is my table. And as I said before, I will be grabbing the biggest table, so the 6-foot table. And the tablecloth for that I still have back at home because I wash them between every single market. So I will grab that with my bag with like important essentials like tape and my cash box and stuff like that. So I will need to pack that up back at home. And now the next thing I'm debating is whether or not I should take my wristlets and like the whole wristlet stand. I didn't really tell them that I sell wristlets as well, so I'm not sure if that would be alright, but usually people don't really care about like small accessories like wristlets, so I might just take them in the car and see if that's okay with them. So we will take the wristlet stand. That's also like a good thing for me because I don't really want to work on plushies when I'm there, when I'm just selling candles. But if I take my wristlets, I could work on some wristlets and it would be definitely like not out of character, I guess, or like confusing to people why I would work on something like that. So I might just take them for that purpose mostly. So I will need that, of course. And then below that, we also have my packing paper, like the tissue paper for the candles. Okay, and then down on this shelf, we have 3 boxes with my candle inventory, so I will definitely need to take all of those. We have my wristlets, which I definitely need to take. And then down here, we have a bag full of my price signs for my candles, so I will need to take that one as well. So basically everything on those shelves down below. And then up here, I have my plushies, which will stay home sadly. And then we have this box where I have lots of display items. I basically don't really need all of them because a lot of them are more like geared towards plushies. So let me take that out and we will look through it and see what all I need to take for that. Okay, so here's now basically everything that I need in this box for tomorrow. I don't have a ton of bags left, so I'm hoping that they will last. I'm guessing though, because I don't think that it will be a huge market and there's like 20 bags left. So I think that should be all right. I definitely need to order those super soon though. So that is one thing I definitely need to get done. I have my wristlets, my stand for my wristlet pegboard, my little sign that I also accept card payments because I always need that. And then this slice of tree where I display my mushroom candles on because I think that is like very fitting. So these are all of the things that are in here. And then I basically just need the bag with the price signs and the 3 boxes of candle inventory, and I'm good with everything that I need to take for this market. So not a lot I need to take. I'm actually looking forward to such a like chill little market that is only 5 hours. I've never done a market this short ever before. So I'm really looking forward to see how it does. I've never been to the venue before, but for now I actually really want to get out of the heat. It's super hot in the studio. I definitely need to get like a little fan or something like that in the future because I can't stand to be in here for a long time because it is just so hot. And I will pack my car later on when it's not as hot anymore, probably when it's dark already, so that my candles don't like sweat a lot in the heat. I'm actually kind of scared for that still tomorrow because it is supposed to be one of the hottest days of the year tomorrow, and we will see if I can get like a shaded place for my little table setup. They were saying that they have a lot of shade, so we will see if that is true. I'm really hoping that that is okay because, yeah, I don't want to get my whole candle inventory ruined. Kind of nervous for that, but we will see. I will definitely take you guys along for that tomorrow. Today, I think I will be working on the mini chicks with hats some more and hoping to get quite a lot of them done again and quite a big dent into those. So that is the plan for today. I'm sorry that I can't be in the studio for such a long time right now. I will be looking at fans probably today because it is just not bearable to be in here. And that is kind of annoying because I really like this space and I really like to spend time in here. And right now it's just not possible at all because it's just too hot. So I will look at that and I will probably see you guys tomorrow for a market day. Super exciting. Good morning, friends. It's now Sunday, which means it's market day. I'm already parked kind of close to the venue. I'm not really sure if I can park here, to be honest, but we will see about that. But I'm like right around the corner from the venue, which is great to unload. And as I said before, it's like a very small market. You can already kind of tell like my car is not super packed as it's usually for markets, so it's a very low-key market. We will see. It's already getting really hot, so I really hope I can get like a shaded place or something like that to set up so I don't ruin all of my candles. Really hoping that works. I have around an hour right now until the market starts. So they told us that we could start setting up at 9 and the market then starts at 10. So that should be enough time for me for just a table setup. So I will now go over there and see if they're already here. I think it's like 2 minutes until 9 or something like that. So that is the plan, and I will of course take you guys along for the day. I'm hoping that I can check in between. Not sure how the venue is set up and how close everybody is together, so we will see about that. But I will definitely show you like the setup and stuff like that. And of course, at the end of the market, I will check in and give you everything that's sold and grand total and everything like that. So let the market day start. Okay, friends, so I'm now back from the market. It's actually already Tuesday after the market is over. And I, of course, wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap of this little market, the first market where I only took my candles to, so that you know how it went. And I can give you a bit of insight into the stats and stuff like that. I'm sorry that I did not check in with you at the market at all. But as you saw, the venue was super small and we were all kind of like next to each other. So I didn't really want to like talk to the camera. I'm still super shy about that. So sorry I didn't check in with you. I only showed you the setup and like a little bit of the vibe of the market, hopefully. But honestly, like before we get into any of the stats, I have my little notebook right here. I wanted to say that this has been like one of my favorite markets. First of all, the venue was beautiful. This little cafe was so cute. We got super lucky with the shade. It was honestly not that hot in the shade, even though it was a super hot day, but it was like natural shade, so just trees and stuff like that. It was such a beautiful venue. And then also the setup was so easy because I only had to take one table. So when I came home from the market, I was so hyped. I told my boyfriend that if every market was like that, I would be able to do like a market every single weekend because it was just so relaxing to be at a market like that. It was very different than a lot of the other markets that I've done before. I did take my yarn to crochet some wristlets just so I had a little bit to do, which was good because I never really know what to do like at a market if I'm not working on projects. I don't want to like stand around weirdly and just look at the customers and make them feel uncomfortable. So I was glad I took the yarn and was able to do a little bit of work. So I made around like 12 or 13 strings for my wristlets that I can now make into wristlets. So that was great to still have something to work on, and nobody like questioned what I was doing because I still had my wristlets on display. That ended up working out okay. As I said before, nobody really cares about bringing like different little accessories and stuff like that. You don't really have to tell a market organizer every single item that you sell, so they were fine with that. And I even ended up selling 2 wristlets, so that was a good idea to take them, I think. And yeah, let's get into some of the numbers of this market. So honestly, this was like not a super busy market, as I said. In terms of orders and items that sold, I had a total of 10 orders throughout the day, and I sold a total of 17 items, which is still pretty good, I think, for just 5 hours of market. And it wasn't a super busy market, it was very chill. Not a ton of people showed up, I think, because it was just such a beautiful day that a lot of people had other things planned, like swimming or just like being out in nature and not really like hanging out in the city. But still, I think having 10 sales during a 5 hour market is all right. And especially since I just brought my candles for the very first time, I really didn't know what to expect, and I'm pretty happy with the turnout. So, like I said previously, I knew beforehand that there were going to be some other plushie vendors, and the organizers were very correct in that. So we had 2 plushie vendors at this market, which was kind of a lot. So I'm definitely glad that they told me beforehand that there were other people selling the same stuff as me, because there was only like 12-ish vendors. So 2 people already selling the same type of items was a lot. And I was the only person selling candles, so that was a great thing. So I'm actually glad that they told me beforehand, even though it did feel kind of weird to leave the plushies home for the very first time. But I don't think I would have sold a lot of plushies anyways, because I was kind of in the back of the market and there was only one entrance, and the other 2 plushie vendors were more like towards the front. So in terms of placement, I would have had like a definite disadvantage. And yeah, I got to talk to them a little bit, and one of them actually had her very first market there. So that was kind of exciting to talk about and chat about. So that was kind of nice to chat with people who actually crochet themselves as well. So yeah, but let's get into some more of the numbers. So I wanted to give you some bestsellers, since some of you have asked about that in the past. Even though this is not plushies, I still have some bestsellers. Basically everything that sold more than once is in this list. So first of all, we have my berry velvet and vanilla candle in the small size. I sold 2 of. I sold 2 of my mushroom candles. I sold 2 of my wristlets. And then I had 2 items that I sold 3 of. First of all, my cactus candle sold 3 times, and then also my flower shaped candle, which is my peonies and peaches candle, sold 3 times. So those were the absolute best sellers of this market. Everything else I only sold one of, so that didn't make it onto the bestseller list. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that one of the orders that I had was actually for 5 items, and it ended up being 71 euros, I think. And I ended up giving them a discount so that their order was 65 euros. They were super excited about the candles. They told me that my candles were their favorite candles they had ever seen and ever smelled, and they were like very passionate about clean burning scented candles. So it was like a match made in heaven, I guess. And I was super happy to give them a discount. They also ended up taking like 10 business cards because they said they have a lot of friends who are kind of the same in that regard and have been looking for some clean scented candles for a very long time. So I'm very excited to see if all of these business cards will find a home, and maybe some people find their way to my little shop. So we will see all about that. But let's get into the grand total of this market. So let me just say, numbers wise, this was my worst market ever. I ended up making a total of 220 euros overall, which is not a ton, but still for this market, I'm actually still super happy about it. As I said before, this market was like not hard to do at all. It was very relaxing, very chill. I actually came back home more refreshed, and it was like not a lot of work to be at this market. I only had to pay 15 euros for the booth fee as well. So overall, in general, I would actually say that I would go back to this market, even though in numbers it was my worst market, but still, it was just like such a positive vibe that if they do the market again next year, and if I have time again next year as well, I would actually go back to this market. So that was all of my market experience for this little market. I'm super glad I did this market. And yeah, for my mini chicks with hats, which were the other big project of this video, I have to say I was not able to finish all of them over the course of the weekend. I still have around 10 or so left to finish up. So that will be a project that will be taken into the next week and definitely finished there. So we definitely have a lot more to do then. So I hope I will see you there. But for now, I thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end. And I will see you guys again next week for another video. So until then, bye.